Mambition moments. Mambition moments. Mambition moments. Welcome back, guys. It's Tiffany. Hello, hello, hello. I feel really good. Simply because I've managed to go for a run this morning. Thank God for the grandparents. My life is powered by grandparents. And I always tell you guys simply because, the structural support means the world. So always good to mention that. I hope everyone's feeling good. Summer holidays, say no more. um, for this episode, I actually want to talk about parenting irrational beings, why your emotional regulation is the most important thing in the room. Now, I recently made a post about excuse me, I'm just recovering from a cold actually. Well, mini cold, like of cold I avoided. I don't know how, but managed to not be like completely depleted with it, which is good, isn't it? Because I know we get a cold every 6 months or more when you have kids. Right. So back to the episode. So I recently spoke about my 3-year-old daughter and how she experienced 5 separate genuine injustices this week. Number one injustice: pancake was served on a plate rather than directly onto her hand because I gave another pancake to her brother in his hand and she didn't get it. And that really made her cry. Another number two injustice: discovering a brother was carried in my tummy first. Number three injustice: a photo frame on the windowsill she's not pictured in, despite being in every other frame in the house. Injustice number four. It's so funny, but these are things my daughter cries about, cries, like tears. Me forgetting the name of a girl we met a few days earlier. And number five injustice: me pouring the milk on her cereal when that was supposed to be her job. In her mind, every single one was a devastating, deeply personal betrayal that she will absolutely be discussing in therapy one day. Guys, it's real. Like parenting an emotional, intense, wild, joyful, just incredible 3-year-old daughter. Because my son just didn't give me any warning sign. I did not know what to expect with her. I was a bit shocked, my daughter. My son is super calm, super, I don't know, just a wise old soul. He's wonderful. But so is my daughter, she's just very different. And it's been incredible just managing her emotions alongside her. And I realize now, like I've said it before, but all I do really at this stage of having a 3 and a 5-year-old is help them to manage their emotions. That's like the biggest part. Because my daughter, I realize, right, when I watch her, she's only 3. She's just expressing what she's feeling in the moment. She doesn't have like the capacity to regulate her emotions, and that's really my job. And it's insane how you can't do that if you're not looking after yourself. And I think that's what really emotional regulation is. You learn it in real time. Children are not irrational. I think sometimes they're just unregulated. Their feelings are real to them. So my daughter, she's really upset by these things, even though in my head I'm thinking, huh? You are just helping you to pour the milk. Like it's just milk. But to her, it's like her response is, it's not disproportionate. It's actually what she should be doing. And I realized that, it's just like the mucky stage of dealing with emotions and not stop them feeling it, but to help them regulate it enough and, like make sure they're okay, but make sure they also learn that feelings, emotions come and go. But yeah, I think, but that's a lot harder if you yourself are not regulated, because you end up, overreacting, being impatient, being annoyed, being snapping, and then you feel bad about it and you spiral. Then it's chaos. But what I'm learning now is that if I spend time on that part of me, then I'm able to pour a better version of me emotionally into their cups, basically. And I mentioned to you guys that, I recently went back to the gym. I went back to the gym about a year ago now, and it's been just really good for me in terms of because I feel so good because I'm doing something that's maybe moving my body or putting my body through something. It helps me to really be stable enough. So now, even when my daughter's annoyed or frustrated about something that I don't think she should be frustrated about, I don't snap. Like I can catch myself in that moment and see myself potentially going down the path of getting annoyed, and I can hold it for her, and I can almost I either make a joke about it, or I can like tell her the lesson in it and make it a fun thing. And even sometimes just tell her, yeah, I know it feels rubbish, doesn't it? And give her a cuddle. But I'm able to come down to her level more rather than like looking at it from like an adult and reasonable and practical lens, which I think is the mistake we make sometimes. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I do think, sometimes I balance it for her. There are times when I'll say, okay, I get it, but we don't need to cry about that. But I think it's a balance, because what you don't want, personally anyway, you have to choose what type of parent you want to be. But for me, I don't want her to think everything is, tragedy when it isn't. There are certain things I would allow her to feel, like it's wrong, but certain things I will say to her, look, we can work through this. We don't need to cry through this. We can find a solution. I often will say that to her, which I think is important as they get older as well. But yeah, I just think that self-care piece, it's not like a buzzword. It's real when you've got lots of emotions and you've got your own emotions, like as a parent, you're carrying them, but you've also carrying your own, I have bad days. I mean, this past year has been really hard for me. Actually, yeah, when I think about it, it's been a very, very hard year, but I've had to hold my own sadness, hold my own, darkness inside and not let it spill over, not get angry, like um, lose my patience with them. So yeah, I think it's a lot, and people don't talk about that enough, but it makes a difference because you could be the angry parent, without even meaning to, just because of the circumstances in your life that they don't understand or they can't see. Children don't know that the parents are going through a difficult time. Children don't know that the parents maybe are struggling to pay their bills, or work is not going well, or they've been made redundant. Children don't understand that. And that's things that a lot of parents are carrying, especially right now. So imagine then having to then deal with little people's emotions on top of that. It's so easy to like get angry, or, like just lose your mind, because you're like, why are you whining and crying about nothing really, when you're like, I'm dealing with bigger things right now. So yeah, I do think that emotional regulation is something we all need to talk about more, and like normalize that it is hard to like manage those small emotions when you've got your own going on. But yeah, I often find myself, I think what really helps me as well sometimes is that I will zoom out. I'm getting better at zooming out from that moment, when I see myself potentially getting a bit frustrated and annoyed, I will like zoom out, and I'm able to like then take a deep breath. I often will count back from 10. Like, I don't care what anyone says, like that works, because it just allows you to sort of pace your response, like 10 down to 1. And by the time I get to 1, I realize that it's okay and we can laugh about this, or we can take a different approach. But yeah, I definitely think that work is something you have to do. Because yeah, it's easy to just snap and be annoyed. And I think another thing as well, that's why I think it's fascinating raising children with someone else, like your partner, because you can catch your partner's like you can catch your partner's like where your partner falls short. And I don't mean that in a critical way. Like when when me and their dad when we're together and he does something, I can say, oh, all right, just be a bit patient there. But it's easy for me to say because I'm not the one like getting annoyed, if that makes sense. But I think that is useful because it just gives the other person sometimes feedback, and also gives you feedback. So if I'm getting a bit annoyed where I can see that my partner has space, you can tell me that, oh, it's okay, it's not that serious. So I think, yeah, I think that parenting kind of back and forth is useful sometimes, because it just allows you to kind of, see a another person's perspective. But anyway, I think I say that to say, so me going to the gym, me going for a walk, me taking the time for myself, me being able to spend time away from the children, like doing things for myself, it's good. It pays off in those moments. And that's what self-care really is about. It's about filling up your cup enough so that you have something more to give your children. You can give them good energy and not be depleted, because who can help anyone when they're depleted themselves? And that's the part we don't talk about enough. If doing something for yourself, it's good. It might feel indulgent, it might feel necessary, but it's sometimes you have to just push through those feelings, because I'm sorry, but motherhood doesn't always have to be like sacrificial to be good mother. Yes, you have to sacrifice some things. Yes, you can't go clubbing all the time, or I don't know, move to another country or do whatever you want. But yes, you can look after yourself. And what I often find is, like I said, when I zoom out, not just from the moment, but when I'm about to do something and maybe it seems like, oh, do I really want to do this that without the children? And I'm able to zoom out in 10, 20 years. I realize that the adult version of them, that what I'm my decision in that moment will be good for that version, even though it seems in this moment a little bit selfish. And I think sometimes you just have to push through that. And that's how I've been able to go. I go to gym consistently now. I mean, not so much last week because I had a lot going on, but I've been able to go to gym, at least two, sometimes even 3 times a week. It just depends on the type of week, right? I feel amazing. I feel like, wow, like look at what I can give my children because I feel good. I'm a better mother when I'm more confident. I'm a better mother when I feel amazing. I'm a better mother when I'm happy myself, when I've done something hard for myself. And yeah, it's not selfishness. It's actually, it's infrastructure. I'm building the infrastructure of this motherhood experience, motherhood journey that they get to be part of. So yeah, I think, yeah, my advice is if you're there as well and you're feeling guilty about going to gym, sometimes you have to push through that feeling because trust me, a lot of people feel that it's normal. You're not meant to in the beginning feel good about leaving them, but as long as they're in safe, happy hands of grandparents, family, friends, daycare, it's okay. Like I promise you, the older version of them or the older version of you in a couple of years time will look back and be glad you made those decisions to look after yourself, because that's been honestly for me one of the greatest multipliers of being a mum. It's the space I've given myself to do certain things. It's really paying off, and yeah, especially with emotions, right? So yeah, anyway, so that's my daughter, but I know we're just getting started because, like I said, she's going to end up on a stage somewhere. So there you go. I think I know it will all pay off because, she'll retire me early, right? And yeah. Anyway, she will cry about something again today and tomorrow, something devastating, something incomprehensible to me. But yeah, I'll be here for it and we'll laugh through it. We'll both cry through it and we'll both breathe deeply through it. And I think that's it, really. It's the regulation to hold those big emotions. Guys, you have been amazing. Thank you for joining me for my ambition moments. Remember, I am powered by cold coffee and running on fumes, just like you. Okay. All right. Well, have a good week. Good luck with the summer holidays, and I will see you on the next one. Now, don't forget, before I go, actually, to like, subscribe, to come follow us on LinkedIn. I know Alex has also started recently posting on Substack as well for my ambition and for herself. So connect with her and us on there. But yeah, we love making new friends and just, traveling this motherhood path together. All right. Cheerio.